Hello, welcome back to another video. I've got Abbie in the chair today, cheeky monkey Abbie. I've already prepped her nails and applied the tips because you've seen me do that a gazillion times. I am just going to wipe over with isopropyl alcohol and then we will get started. So Abbie hasn't had nails for a little while actually. We just couldn't get the time to do them. I'm just going to prime here and then remind her not to touch anything, eat anything, pick anything up. It's always the way, and you don't realise when your client accidentally touches their fingers or like puts their hand through their hair and you've just prepped the nails. That's going to cause lifting. Right. Anyways, this is the core powder we're using. It's Tease Me from Glitter Planet Nail Mate Acrylic System. It has tiny opal pieces in it. I work wetter with this because the opal pieces seem to make the consistency slightly different. So I would recommend working a bit wetter because it sets a little bit faster, especially with the sun anyway. And I'm going to do that on all nails. And the reason is I am almost out of clear acrylic. So we had to use a nude as the base. Otherwise I would have used clear and just used nude on one finger. But I suppose it's good anyway because Abbie tends to change her design. Although I know what her next design is. It's coral. Because those lucky buggers are off on their holidays at the end of the month. Everyone's going on holiday apart from me. Have any of you guys been on holiday? And if so, tell me where you've been. And was it good? I really want a holiday. But Oliver doesn't want to go on holiday anywhere. So I'm sort of stuck with a 13-year-old that is refusing to go on holiday. So what am I supposed to do? I told him I'll just leave him here then with his brother and I'll bugger off because I need a holiday. Right, I'm applying my cuticle bead. The brush I'm using is a size 10. It is a rainbow glitter brush from Glitter Planet. I can't remember the actual name of the brush, but it's stunning. It's beautiful. Look how pretty it is. It's such a pretty brush. Always get compliments about my brush. I'm working in smaller beads with this acrylic because it has pieces of like opal mylar in it. So I find it easier to work in slightly smaller beads and build it up. I mean, you can do it any way you want, really. You could do it in one bead if you want. I don't, that's all. Because I don't want to. All right, I just don't want to. Don't make me do it. I'm not going to do it. So there. But yeah, essentially. Do you like the colour that's on my nails, by the way? That is Grand Canyon from Madam Glam. Isn't it? It is Grand Canyon from Madam Glam, isn't it? Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it? What a beautiful red. I'm going to do my toes the same, you know. Might do that tonight. Make my toes pretty. So lovely. I love red nails. I'm tempted to do, actually, oh, yes. I have a couple of gigs this weekend, so maybe I'll do myself a set of long extensions and just paint them red and just have long red nails. Oh my goodness, that's heaven to me. Why do I like red nails so much? I don't know. Does anyone else like red nails? Some people literally dislike them. Like they're strong enough to go, oh my God, no, not red nails. Why? What's wrong with them? They're beautiful. Red's a lovely colour. I'm applying again, same acrylic here. I mean, I do the same on all fingers. I won't show you both hands, but I will keep this one in real time just so that you can kind of work with me. So I'm using the tip of my brush behind that bead. Do you see how I tuck it to get that bead nice and close to the cuticle and nice and flat so you don't have a step up? If you get a step up, you're going to get lifting, hair's going to get caught under there, and your extension just won't work. It will not last. You will lose the longevity in your extensions, and nobody wants that. I'm using the real belly to the base of the brush to pat down this bead where it was starting to polymerize quite quickly because it was warm. So different sections of the brush kind of work best for different jobs. I guess a decorator might say the same about a paintbrush, I don't know. So the tip of the brush is great for precision work, tucking things in, very precise. The underneath of the brush is good for blending. And then like the real base of the brush is like when you want to pat something right down. So I use the tip of my brush here and then I'm going to flip my brush clean it quickly and blend backwards. And I'm using the underside of the tip where the bristles are very fine, and that just kind of feathers it back gently. So you're not scooping, because otherwise, obviously, if you kind of press down and pull back, you're going to scoop the product. So you're essentially going to take it away from where you've just put it. So that you don't want that. You want it to blend. You want to pat it and gently tease it into place. I've noticed a little bit here. So I'm doing the same. I'm taking the tip of my brush, blending those edges. It doesn't matter how many beads it takes you to do this. It really frustrates me that people think they have to have it done in so many beads. Don't worry about it. Seriously, do not worry about it. Just make sure the structure is sound. Your client is happy with the shape. If it takes you 10 beads, it takes you 10 beads. If it takes you 1 bead, it takes you 1 bead. It doesn't make one person better than the other. The end result is what counts. The longevity of the nails, the shape, the structure, that's what counts. And I don't get it perfect all the time. I make mistakes all the time because I'm human. It's weird, isn't it, that? No one's perfect. So don't beat yourself up, because I know you do. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Anyway, what are you drinking? I've actually got coffee. I've got decaf coffee. I can't even remember the last time I was like on here drinking coffee. It's normally a Yorkshire tea, but I fancied a decaf coffee. Right, in with a nice big bead there. See, I'm using the tip of my brush to flatten out the back of that bead and to press it right into the nail plate there, so you get good adhesion. Well, that's what you want. And then I'm tapping and pulling. So I'm working that bead down to the tip. Tapping and pulling. Not so much pressure that you end up with air bubbles, but enough. You'll get the gist of it if you get your ratios quite predictable. And I would recommend practicing ratios on a sheet. You can get sheets. I mean, I just used to practice them on a bit of tissue paper, to be fair, nothing fancy. You don't need to buy anything. You just need to get to know your product, like an artist gets to know their brushes or their paints, or that's what you need to do. And again, tip of my brush there, and look how gently just teasing the product into place. And then I'm using the underside of the top third of that brush to blend it. Again, the top third of the brush is like where the bristles start to thin out. Flip my brush round, make sure it's clean, blend back with the underside of the tip. It's quite self-explanatory, but I say that, it is when you know how. It's like anything, isn't it? If you know how to do it, well, you're probably not watching this. You're probably like, oh, God, shut up, woman. But if you don't know how to do it, I'm trying to make it as useful as possible, which for me is, difficult, because that means I've got to concentrate. So I hope you appreciate my concentration by giving me a like, a follow and a comment, and let me know what you're drinking and where you're watching from. So this nail, I don't know what that was caught on. I think there was a bit of plastic from the tip that was in the way, but it doesn't really matter because I'll just file it, so I'm not overly fussed. Also, what you'll find with the opal acrylic is that when you file it, little bits of opal might stick up. And if you put gel polish over the top, you might see it's lumpy. Don't worry about that. Do your gel polish in 2 thin coats, do your top coat, then buff it, and then top coat again. And they'll be smooth as a baby's bum. So don't stress over it. Abbie was like, oh, it's lumpy. Sarah, it's lumpy. I'm like, just shush. It's fine. Let me do my job. It's cool. We've got it. In with the second bead. I'm going to pop that behind the first bead. And I'm going to use the tip of my brush to tuck it right in at the cuticle area. Keeping it nice and neat. And you see it's really light pressure. Really light pressure. Otherwise that product is going to smoosh everywhere. And then I'm blending with the underside of my brush. And you don't want it to be too wet, your brush, either, because it'll flood. It'll just flood it with monomer. Nobody wants flooding of monomer. Nobody. Onto the thumb. I'm surprised I didn't think to pull her hand forward, because I love a juicy thumb. But I didn't. But I'm still going to show you, because it's just a bigger surface area for you to look at. You can see me tapping that product, tapping it and pulling it into place. Pushing back that edge and blending it down so that there's no big step up, and then just tapping and patting left to right, bringing that product down, because every time the brush comes in contact with it, it's releasing monomer back into the polymer, the powder. So it's keeping that bead wet, keeping it moving, and then when you stop feeding that bead, it will begin to polymerize and set and cure. So by keeping your brush the right level of sort of, I don't want to say the word, by having enough monomer in your brush, you're enabling the product to move freely because you're constantly feeding it with monomer. If your brush is too dry, then your acrylic will stick to the bristles really badly and you'll just clog and it will be a nightmare to move, and then it will set and it won't work. If your brush is too wet, then the minute your brush touches the monomer, the polymer, the powder, it's just going to create splodgy mess, and the chances are it's going to flood, come into contact with your client's skin, and increase the risk of allergies and issues. So it's about, again, getting your ratio down and understanding your product. Once you do that, honestly, the rest is easy. I think we go kind of ham on it and start trying to make nails, and I understand what I'm doing. Why isn't it working? And it's probably the product that you're using. I mean, you must use a good system. There's no doubt about that. That makes all the difference. 100%. I've tried and tested it. So yeah, if you're looking for a good acrylic system, I would recommend Nailmate. It's very beginner friendly. It's a slow setting system, slow to medium speed. And I would thoroughly recommend it. And I'll put the link in the description box, and I've got a 10% discount code, so that helps as well. It's 10%. It's better than a kick in the face, isn't it? But don't be buying these cheap kits off like TikTok, Amazon, Temu, because the acrylic is so substandard. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you go onto TikTok shop and look for a known brand, then you're all right. Like, you can buy Glitter Planet products there, but buy it from them. But don't be buying from unknown sources. You just don't know what you're getting. So your brand has to be good and I can't say the word, reputable. And the quality of the product will make your job easier. Like, if you've got a smooth filing acrylic that is a medium speed, sets beautifully and is easy to file, your whole job will be easier than if you have got an acrylic where you're not quite sure on the setting speed. I mean, I've had acrylics in the past, oh my God, coloured acrylics that I bought from eBay when I was younger. Oh, they were awful. It was like painting with... do you ever have powder paints when you were a kid that you mix up with water to make paint, but if you got it wrong, it kind of went weird? That's what the acrylic was like. It was horrific. It was so bad quality, such bad quality. It made me think I couldn't do nails. I nearly quit because of it, because this was like way back in the beginning, like 12 years ago. I nearly quit because I thought I was rubbish, when actually it was the product I was using. So my filing routine is the same for every nail. Sidewall, free edge, flat file. Obviously I've got my dust extractor there, thank God. Bloody gets everywhere, that dust. So sidewall, free edge. Oh, I've seen a bit more on the free edge. Okay, cuticle. Pulling the skin back with my thumb. Can you see? I'm pulling that skin back so I can get right in there. Get right in there, mate. Tuck it right in there. Beautiful. And then swoop that file around. You want it to kind of follow the angle of the nail. And I'm going to do a flat file across the surface, and then I'm going to go left to right, supporting the nail. Even though it's a short nail, I'm supporting it the whole time, because it's really uncomfortable for people. Like, some people are probably not bothered by it, but Abbie's quite sensitive, so I have to be careful. And I'm going to continue that final step of round the cuticle, over the body of the nail, round the cuticle, over body of the nail, until I'm happy. And then when I'm finally happy, I will go back in and check the free edge again and the sidewalls, just because I've adjusted the shape of the rest of it. So I need to make sure that all falls in line and looks good, which it does, obviously. And I will do that step on every single nail, and I do it the same way. Don't switch it up. Just find your filing routine and stick to it. And if necessary, jot it down on a piece of paper in case you forget, because I used to leave things out. I'd be like halfway through going, why does that look, oh, I haven't done the cuticle. Let's have a brush off with Gerald. I'm checking it again. Something I'm not happy with, so I'm going to go in and rectify. Okay, so I've done the rest of the filing and cleaned the nails off. Now we're going in with Thoughtful Blue from Madame Glam. Abbie chose her colours. I let her loose in the room. I just said, go on, go up there and just find what you want. So I'm going to do 2 coats of that on the thumb, the middle finger, and the pinky. These are part of Madame Glam's full coverage cream gels. So they've got really good coverage, considering this is over quite a pigmented nude with opal flakes in it as well. I always use my detailer brush just to go around the cuticle and sidewalls. And I am capping, although I do file at the end now. That's a new thing that was recommended by you guys. So I mentioned it in a video a while back and I said, why are these people filing when they've capped? Please tell me, because in my brain, you know, I was taught, but things change, right? So that's cool. I was taught that you cap the nail and you do not touch it because that capping is what stops it chipping. However, I've been reliably informed that the evidence now suggests that filing after capping is fine, filing the edges. So I don't get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing it and I'm willing to try it. I still don't understand it. However, you know, I've done it, so we'll see how they last. We'll have a look at their longevity. My dog's being a pain in the arse because he's not allowed out for a WALK because he damaged his ligament in his knee. And his sister did the same thing and she needed to have her kneecap pinned in place because it's a genetic disorder that they seem to have. So I'm hoping he doesn't have to have the same thing. So he's off going out at the moment. But yet he still manages to mess about indoors and pop his knee. So don't really know. He popped his knee humping his teddy bear the other day. Typical bloke. Told to rest, but just can't stop the humping. Anyway, as you can see, I'm still capping. I was a bit of floof. Don't worry if you see little bumps on the surface of the nail. That is where some of the opal flakes have risen up through the acrylic. Now, I should have checked first and buffed the nail, but I didn't. So, in case this happens to you, this is how we're going to rectify it. Carry on as normal. Carry on. Don't worry about it. Right? Do your first coat, do your second coat, do your top coat, and then if the nail surface is still uneven, buff with a 180 buffing block. And then second top coat. There you go, done. No problem, don't stress. It's fine, you can see that lump there. Don't worry about it, it's all good. It's no big deal, honey, not at all. When I finished Abbie's nails, she said to me, yeah, I'm not sure I should have picked these colours. It looks like a gender reveal set of nails. I went, oh shit, it does, doesn't it? Never mind. They're still pretty colours. I've got Madame Glam's new collection sat in front of me, so as soon as I've finished voicing this video over, while this video is exporting and uploading, I'm going to quickly clean my kitchen and then I'm going to plan my next design. I've literally been editing this video since first thing this morning. I'm using the new software, but for some reason, if any of you use Wondershare Filmora on MacBook Pro, can you email me or message me on here, or message me on socials? My socials are in the description, and just let me know if you have the situation where when you upload files, because of the high resolution, it needs to then create a proxy file, and basically takes absolutely ages to upload the footage before I can start editing. So I'm fannying about with it, and it's taking its sweet ass time. Really what's happening is I'm uploading the footage and then I think it's ready and it's not, so then I have to set up a proxy file, and while that's happening it's almost like, oh, are we using Inner Peace as well, which is like a corally pink. It's almost like the same time it would take to export something. So I just walk off and leave it and go and do housework. But it means that it seems to be taking me ages to edit now. Like it's a whole day of off and on all day for one video, which is a bit silly because before I could do it quite quickly, but the quality wasn't as good. I must admit, the quality of this is so much better. And I accept the fact that that's probably why we need the proxy file set up, because it's such high quality. But I'm just wondering if anyone knows of any loophole or any other way, or that's something I'm doing wrong, maybe. Because it's just a bit lengthy. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It just means in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get this done today. But it takes quite a while, and I get tired when I'm sat editing. I'm not very good at sitting still unless I'm constantly stimulated. So I get quite tired. My brain sort of wants to shut down. I used to fall asleep at school when I was younger. I just used to crash out, even if I wasn't tired. So I'm all right if I'm doing admin tasks because it's busyness, isn't it? Like when I worked in an office, I was absolutely fine. I loved the pressure and the like, blah, blah, blah. But sitting like watching this and just voicing it over, and you'll notice like I yawn a lot when I'm voicing over. I constantly pause it to yawn. I get really, really tired and just cutting the clips. So maybe it's a good thing that I do a bit and then I walk off and do another job. Then I come back and do a bit more. Then I walk off and do another job, because it means that I'm kind of keeping my brain stimulated. If I have music on while I'm editing, that helps as well. Like my headphones on. Don't these colours apply really well? Really, really beautiful, aren't they? Look at the shaping on that nail. Stop it, it's beautiful. Anyway, if any of you use Wondershare Filmora and you've got any tips for me, let me know. Because if I can cut the time it takes down, that would be great. Then I can do more content, because I'm juggling like 2 part-time jobs essentially, and they're both quite time consuming outside of their actual thing. Like I don't just turn up and sing at a weekend. I have to practice, I have to print lyrics, get the folder sorted, work on my vocal techniques. It's a lot of work, honey. There's a lot of traveling. Oh my God. I have to make myself drink lemon. Oh my God. It's so tiring. I have to sleep with a humidifier to take care of my airways. Oh my God. Such a diva. Sorry. If I don't do something stupid, I'll fall asleep. Look at that second coat. So sexy colours. So beautiful. But they do look like a gender reveal now. I'm not going to lie, they do. But a very pretty gender reveal now. Right, we're going to top coat these because she will touch stuff and get fluff on it. And I'm just not fluffing having it. So before she gets fluff on everything, I am going to top coat and seal these nails in. And then we shall do the design on the ring finger, which is flowers. So she wanted blue flowers with a pink dot in the middle and pink flowers with a blue dot in the middle. And believe it or not, like although in theory the flowers are quite simple to do, I regularly put my dots in the wrong place because I get distracted. Me? Distracted? Who would have thought it? I know, you're sitting back gasping, aren't you? Going, oh, Sarah get distracted? Well, I never. Funnily enough, it happens quite a lot. So, yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah, doing the flowers. Yeah, sometimes I just put the last dot in the wrong place and then I have to start again. That's ever so frustrating. That is. Oh. I take a breath and I'm in my head psyching myself. Oh, come on, Sarah. You've only got to do 5 dots in a circle with an equal space in between them. You can do this. Oh, nope, messed it up on the last one. Try again. Some people make it look really easy. Do you reckon they do it on the first take, though? I don't. I think they just make out they do it on the first take. I think they lie. So I'm getting these all top coated. As you can see, I need some more top coat. I've ordered it from Madame Glam. I didn't know they did this until recently, like a bottle like a squeezy bottle so I can just decant it into my top coat bottle to save on waste. So I've bought a bigger bottle, and it's really good value for money. I've also bought a new lamp from them. So if you want to invest, I've got a 30% discount code for them. If you're in the UK, keep your order below £135 and you will not pay import tax. At the moment, please check import tax from US to UK, because I know that, things change. But yeah, it's last time I checked, it was £135. And to be fair, if you're using a 30% discount code, you can get quite a lot for, 100 quid. So I would definitely give that a go. You will not be disappointed. I mean, I wouldn't be using it after all these years if it wasn't an amazing product. Okay, so as you can see, I'm doing my dots. This is not the first time. Don't be fooled. That's like the third time. But it's gone 10 o'clock at night by this point, because we didn't start. These only took me 2 hours, and in all fairness, we broke off to pop to the shop as well. So, for snacks. So, yeah, they only took me a couple of hours. And because I don't do nails all day, every day, that's quite good timing, really. What I'll do is do one bit, and then, see that one I wiped off, so I didn't like it. There you go, showing you. That's the real thing, that's what happens. If you don't wipe it off when you don't like it, what are you doing? Don't pretend it's okay and leave it. That's the worst thing you can do, because your client's got to look at that. Wipe it off and say, oh, I'm terribly sorry, I'm not 100% satisfied with that. And then they realise that you are not prepared to settle for less, and you will make sure that they're going away with something that you feel is your best work. Because if they notice you cutting corners, they're not going to come back. Or if they walk off and go, oh, this is a bit shoddy, they're not going to come back. They're paying you. You make them feel special. If it's not perfect, you say, oh, that's not perfect, I'm not happy. Even if they go, oh, well, I'm all right with it. No. I'm not okay with it because it's not perfect. This one was a bit wonk. I wonder if I wiped that off. I can't remember if I made it look right. Sometimes you can doctor it a little bit. And other times it's just not worth trying to save it. So, yeah, I think I doctored it a little bit. But I would say essential tools, right? Dotting tools, essential. And the main brush that I use is a 15mm. That's the length, 15mm. Because you can do long lining and detail work with it. I don't really reach for any of my other brushes. Ombre brush, always have an ombre brush. They're invaluable. And a pigment brush, something like that. Yeah. But there's a lot of brushes I have that I don't really use. I guess if I did more character work, I'd use the smaller brushes, but I haven't done that for ages. Maybe I should get back into that. Haven't done it for ages. There you go. So blue flower with the pink dot, pink flower with the blue dot, and then we will go in and top coat with no white top coat. Now, you can't probably see the opal very clearly, but when you look at the nails with the naked eye, it shimmers through like an opal. So yeah, I hope you like these nails. We applied some cuticle oil and that was that. Let me know what you think and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, tally bye.